Hello and welcome back. So in today's video, we are going to continue building our application. And in the last video, we looked at our background services here. The other thing that we looked in our background services is how to schedule tasks here using Node cron. Also, we looked at how to create a reusable send mail function here. And today's video, we are going to look at the templates here. So this template here. And after that, also we are going to look at how to create or creating a function or services. Let me just say services to send different emails. So to send different emails like that. So I think now what we can do is to just explain about email templates. So if I come here and for example, let me just look at one of the emails, and when I click on this email here, this email is not like templated, because this you can see here there's nothing that is have been added in this email. This is just a plain email. So I want to show you a templated email, and one of the templated email that I can get here is this email from the room from the loom here. So if you check for this email, you can see here we have the logo for the loom, and we have some text here and this video and then button right here. So this here is a templated email, and that's why you can see the loom company can be able to embed things like video. So this is just a HTML that has been designed like this to actually send email to send template through the emails. So what we are going to do in our case, we are going to look at the templates that I have, and this I'm not going to create template from scratch, because that is something that is very easy. It's just a HTML, and you are going to see that in a second. So I'm going to my code here, and I want to include templates in my background services here. Already I had templates that I had created from the other project. So I'm going to documents, and here I have the other video that I used to demonstrate. And inside the background services here, if you check, you can be able to see that we have different here you can be able to see that we have different templates. So, and you can see they end with EJS. But if I open this one, so for example, I can open it using VS Code here, you'll be able to see that it's just you can be able to see it's just HTML here, and this HTML is actually styled here, and then here you can be able to see that it has this is the logo here that we have added. And also you can see here we have your order has been delivered, and you see this is how we actually pass data in our template that we are sending through the email. So what I'm going to do, let me first of all I'm going to copy these templates from here. So copy them, and I'm going to paste them inside my project, and my project here is inside, it is this e-commerce beauty store here. So I'm going to copy them inside here, make the same. I'm going to add this template in the resource part of this video, and let me just go back. And now after I've done that, let's see how to pass in the data. So how to pass in the data. So you can see here also to make sure that you can be able to display the product, you can see I'm passing in the product, but inside this template here, because this is not purely HTML, and you can see that's why we have .ejs here. Now you can see we can use a function for each here to be able to loop through every product that we are passing to this template, and be able to display things like image. You can see the title, we are doing product.quantity because we are looping here, and that's how it works. So let's look for another template. So right now I have added templates right here, and I can open, for example, this template to welcome you to the application. So for this application here, you can be able, or to this template here, you can be able to see that it's actually a HTML. And the other thing that you can see here is that we have passed in like the URL of our logo. And also the other thing is you can see the name here, yeah, and also like the how you pass in, you are passing the data. This is now the name, and I'm going to show you how to pass this name. And you can see the text here. I have actually added even the copyrights in this email here. So to see it on a better view, I can just copy this because I want you to understand. So I'm going to create a file. So let me try and create a file right here. So let me just create it here in my background services. And this I'm going to call it just index.html here. And after that, I'm going to paste this like that. And I want to open this here. I want to open this in a browser so that you can be able to see it. So I'm going to click that go live, and when you click on go live here, you can be able to see that how the template looks like. So here you can see it will be hello, and then here I'm going to pass the name, so it will be hello, your name. And then we are ready to welcome you to our beauty bliss, your new go-to destination for all things beauty. We are here to help you discover products that match your style and elevate your beauty routine. Stay tuned for exclusive offers, beauty tips, and the latest trends directly in your inbox. If you have any question or need assistance, feel free to thank you for joining us. So you can be able to just see the overview of what we are doing. So now I feel that I've explained more about template. And if you don't understand this template here, now you can just contact me, and or just use the Q&A question section to be able to, and I'm going to explain you about templates. So now another thing that I want to do now is to proceed. I'm going to delete this file here. Let me first of all just dispose the go live, and I'm going to delete this one here. So I'm going to delete that. And now here inside my background services, I'm going to create something that we call email service here, because, or email services, let me call it email services. And right here I'm going to actually have a first services, our first service, which we are going to call send welcome. So send welcome email .js, like that. And inside here now we are going to create a service that is going to send emails that to welcome the user in our application. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to import EJS, because we are going to use EJS to be able to template our email. So let me import EJS like that. And the other thing that I'm going to import right here is .env. So import .env from .env. So from .env right here. Another thing that I'm going to import now is remember the send mail function, the reusable. So send mail function. This is from, let me see if actually I added the export, so that we are going to be able to import it here. So actually I exported it, so export default. So I can be able to come up here, and we are going to go one folder up, and then we are going to help us. So this help us, and we are going to include this send mail.js right here, to actually take to be able to import that function. The other thing that I'm going to import here is user, and we are going to get user from the models. So remember we included models right here. You can be able to see these models, and actually I didn't add this model, so we are going to add those models. So let me do that first. First of all, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this, and I think I can be able, let me just, to make my work easier, I'm going to delete these models here, and because they are same as the ones for the backend, I'm going to copy them. So let me just come here to my application here, and you can see here we have models inside our backend. So I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to add them here in my background services. So paste it here, and if I go back here, you'd be able to see now these models here have been added because they are just the same. And here I'm going to go to the models. So models, another thing is I'm going to add the user.js here. So we are going to import now the user right here, and let's come here and now create the function. So before that, I want to use .env.config like that. And the other thing is I can create a function. So the function here is we are going to have send welcome email. So send welcome email or mail, or whatever. Let me just call it email to be consistent. So here I'm going to create now the arrow function like here, and then I'm going to add async here because this one will be a sync function. And now this will be a very simple thing. So first thing that we want to do is to fetch all the users that has a status of 0 in our database. So I'm going to say const users and then await. So I'm going to just say await. I'm going to say user and find by ID, and find by ID, actually not find by ID, it's just find, sorry for that. And what do we want to take? We want to just select all the users that has a status of 0, and that means that the user has been created in the database, but the email have not been sent to them. So that is the meaning of status 0. They have been created to the database, but email have not been sent to them. So this service will be checking for that user, for users that have a status of 0. And then after, if the user is present, or if the users are there, so I'm going to do users.length here to check if these users that has status of 0, if it's greater than 0, then we need to just send the email. So here we can find that user is 1, we can find users are 2. So what we are going to do is to loop. So I'm going to use for here and use let. So let user of users here like that. So that is how we are going to loop. And here I'm going to just say ejs.render file. So this one we are going now to template my emails before we send it. So inside here now, in this function called render file, the first thing that we need to do is to specify the template that you are going to use to send our email. So the first, our template is inside the templates, and the template is called welcome.ejs. So welcome.ejs, and you can be able to see it inside this template here. This is the template that we are using. And after that, now we are going to pass another the data that we are going to pass to this template here. So let me open this template here. We are going to pass in the name here. So this is the data that we are going to pass in here. So I'm going to add here the name, and this one will be from the user.name. So here you can see that we are actually getting, when you are looping, you are getting every user. So then we need to pass the user.name here. So the other thing is now the callback function, and this callback function here is it will either have the error or data. So let me just add here the callback function here. So let me just add it here like that. So inside here now we can have either the error or the data. So what we are going to do here now, let's create a message options. So message options like that, and here we are going to have this as an object, and this object will have from which email that you are going to send. So from which email that we are going to send the email. So I'm going to use the email here, this email here from our .env, and also we are going to have to which email that we are sending this template and the data. So we are going to send to user.email right here, and also we can include subject. So let's have a subject here. So for the subject, this one we are going to have a subject which is welcome to Beauty Breeze. So welcome to Beauty Breeze like that. And another thing is here we are going to add HTML and then have the data. So you can be able to see that here, this is the data. So after we have templated our email and everything is successful, then we are going to have the data. So after that, now we can try to send our email. So I'm going to come here and say try. So this one will be try catch like that. So here we need to send the email. So I'm going to just say await and then send mail. So you can be able to see the send mail here, and for the send mail we need to pass in the message options. So I explained in the other video, so if you haven't watched the other video, kindly go back to be able to understand what is this message options here. So here you can see we have error, so we need to add a sync here so that it will be a synchronous function. And if it is successfully sent the email, then we need to update the user. So I'm going to say await, and then we are going to have user here. So dot find by id, find find by id and find by id and update, and then here we need to pass in the user id. So user id, it will be user underscore id, and then here we are going to set now. So I'm going to use set here, and here we can be able to set the status to have a status of 1, because we don't want to keep sending emails to our user. So we need to just only send one email. So what happens is that now the next time that this service is running, then it will find that this user already has a status of 1 because they have been sent the email. So here I'm going to just console log the error, console log and then error, yeah, like that. And now you can see how simple it is for us to be able to send the email. So this function here, first of all, it takes all the users that has a status of 0, then it loop through them, and through the looping it needs to first of all template the email using ejs.renderFile function. And you can see inside the render file you need to pass in the template, and if you are passing any data you need to specify that data. For example, for EJS here you can be able to see that we need to pass in the name, and it should have this name here. So that's why you can see we have specified the name, and we passed in the username here. You can see the name of the user, and after that now we either get the error or the data. So then we first of all make sure that we have these message options. So message options include from which email. So we have our email in our .env here that we created on the other video. Also for this one, two is to which email that you are sending that template and the data. And here you can see also we specified the subject. The subject here is welcome to beauty please here. After that, we have HTML that include the data that we have gotten after we have templated our email. After that, now we need to send that email. So to send that email, we are using this reusable send mail function, and we pass in message options that is up here. After that, we need to update the status of that user to 1, because this service here is running after every will be running after every second, checking for the user that has a status of 0. So that means if you don't update the status to 1, that means that user will be sent infinite number of emails, and that we don't want to do that, because that also is like spamming the user. So after that, now we can call this function or the service. So first of all, let us export it. So export default like that, and then we need to export this function here, or a service. You can call it a service, and then after that we need to call in here where we have schedule services. So we need to call it here. So send welcome email, you can see it here. So before I even run this service, I want to know which user we have in our database. But I think I think we have one user, and I'm going to just save this, and my backend here will just rerun. So here you can see that we already have an error here, and I think I know where the error is coming from, and the error is coming from this. Okay, it's not this point. So let me see, module not found. So if I come back here, be able to see that it's saying that this module is not found, cannot find package crypto.js here. So what we can do is that we can just come to these models, and because this is where we are using this by crypt. So I'm going to come here to the user, and I'm going to remove this by crypt here, and these functions here that allow us to encrypt and compare the password. So I'm going to remove this function here, and also this one for matching the user passwords. So I'm going to save this, and then let us see. So it's running here, but database is connected successfully. And then let's see if it is going to send the email. So you can see here we have the ID. So this ID is for successfully sent email. So what we can do is that we can just go to the inbox of the email. So let me just open the email that I had already registered. I think here, this is the email here, and see if we are going to get the template. So it is running here. Let's us wait it opens. So, and then I think, yeah, you can see here, welcome to beauty please, and we can open this. You can see here that we have received this email, and this email is templated. You can see hello James, and here we are there to welcome you to beauty breeze, and already you can see that that is something that we have already covered, and it's working fine. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to go back now to this part here and to the email service, and I can create another service for pending orders. So we are going to close this file here, and also this one. So inside now this part here for the email service, we are going to create another service, and this service we are going to call this service send pending order email .js like that. And here we can be able to create now the function to do that. So here, this function here, we will be able to send, like if we have created an order, or we have ordered some products successfully, that means that that order has been saved in our database, then it means that we are going to receive an email that is telling us that the order has been received and it will be processed in a few days and then being sent to us. So I'm going to actually make sure that I copy these imports here, because we are going to use these imports here like that, and because I want to save time. So let me come here and paste them here, but for this part here I need to have order, not user. Here we are going to access orders from the database, so this one here will be just order like that. So now let's create a function that will be able to send here, that is going to send uh, that is going to send that email. So I'm going to call this send pending order email like that, so that it should be making sense. So after that, we can be able to create that callback as that arrow function, and then here I can say export default, and then I'm going to export this function send pending order email. And inside here now we can be able to first of all fetch the orders that has a status of 0, because that means that those orders have been successfully created in the database, but the user have not received any email. So I'm going to just say await, and then I'm going to say order dot find, and after that we can be able to have status. Let's have a status here. So that is the status 0, and here you can see we have errors. That's because we need to add a sync here. So after that, now we have fetched all the orders that have been newly created in our database and users have not received the email. So after that, already the next step is to check if we have orders, so that we don't try, because we need to make sure that whenever we are trying to send email, already we have orders that has a status of 0. So first is to check if orders.length here is greater than 0. That means we have those orders. Then what we are going to do from here is to loop now. So I'm going to do for, so I'm going to say let order of orders like that. Then we can loop here. So let order of orders, and then here we need to just use ejs dot render file. So dot render file like that, and then after that we can be able to pass in the template that you are going to use. So I'm going to pass in here the template. So from the my templates, so my templates, I'm going to pass in the template for called pending order.ejs. You can be able to see it here. Let me just show you. Here in my template, you can see pending order.ejs. So this is that we are going to pass, and I can be able to open it so that you can see how it looks. So you can see here, first of all, the title is pending order notification, and down here you can be able to see that we need to first of all we are going to pass in the name here, and also we are going to pass in the orders here, and it is going to loop through the orders and display the information like product title, product price, and also even the image. Here you can see we have the image here and the title. So that is what we are going to do. So here, first thing is we have specified the template. The other thing that we are going to do is to actually add here the data that we are going to pass. So we are going to have to pass the name of the person who ordered those products, and then here this one is we are going to get from order.name right here. Another thing that we are going to have is we are going to have products. So products, and the products here we are going to get them from order.products. and don't worry, we are going to create for our front end, and you'll be able to understand this product here, how we create these products for orders. And then after that, now we are going to have a callback function. So we are going to have this callback function. The first thing here is error and data. So another thing is inside here, now we can be able to have the message options. So I'm going to open now. Inside here, I'm going to copy message options because they look almost the same. So I'm going to copy that and paste it here, and we are going to get our email from .env that we are using to send the email, and also the email that you are going to send to this email is from order.email, and here we can specify the subject of that email. So in my case here, the subject will be your order. Your order has been placed like that. And then here you can see we have HTML, and HTML here is the data. So we actually now try and send we are going to try here to send now the email. So try catch. The first thing that I do here is await. We call the send mail function, and we pass in the message options. So message options like that. Here you can see await has an error, so we are going to say async. And after that, then we are going to actually now be able to update now the order from status of 0 to a status of let's say status of 1. So I'm going to come here and copy this actually, because it will be almost the same. So let me add this line of code here. This one I'm going to change to order like that, and also this one is order ID like that. And then now after the message is after the email has been sent successfully, then we are going to update our order to have a status of 1. So after that, now we can console log here, console log, and then we are going to pass in the error here. After that, we can be able to format our code. So you can see how our code look like. And after that, now we can call this function inside here. So send pending order. So you can see send pending order email, and we can call that function. We can call this function here. So these functions here are being called after every second, but also you can create different services. For example, you can have a service that is running after 10 minutes and then enter this function inside there if that is what you want. So I think now you can be able to understand how we are creating our background services. And I think now this video is long enough. I don't want to run it more than this, or we are going to continue in the other video. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and also like this video so that it may reach other people who are learning how to code. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell. So see you on the next video. Have a great day.